Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and thank you for tuning in to Canal Algérie's nightly news. Onto the headlines. On the occasion of the World Press Freedom Day, the President of the Republic celebrates his event with journalists in the presence of senior state officials and national and international media representatives. The Foreign Affairs Minister calls from Copenhagen for a solid investment in Africa, and in Italy, the Interior Minister expounds Algeria's experience in fighting illegal immigration. Amid a serious siege and a savage aggression, the Algerian humanitarian aid is in Gaza to alleviate the untold suffering of its population. The conference meant to voice solidarity with the Sahrawi journalists kicks off in Boujdour with a particular stress on the blackout being imposed on this fair cause. Welcome back. We begin with tonight's main story, where the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, presided over today the celebration ceremony of the World Press Freedom Day, coinciding with May the 3rd of each year. The event was held at the level of the International Conferences Center in the presence of senior state officials, in addition to national and international media representatives. Minisa Kabash starts us off with the title.
On the occasion of the World Freedom Press Day, President Abdelmajid Tebboune presided over a celebration ceremony attended by numerous senior state officials, including the Speaker of the Council of Nations, the President of the People's National Assembly, the Prime Minister, the President of the Constitutional Court, the Chief of Staff of the People's National Army, the Private Secretary of the Presidency, the General Secretary of the Presidency, as well as members of the government and journalists, representatives of national and international media. The head of state congratulated journalists and listened to their concerns, notably those related to the sector of press in Algeria within the reforms already witnessed by this field, aimed at dedicating the important role of journalists to inform the public opinion and defend the nation and its principles. The Communication Minister Mohamed Lagab, for his part, recalled the efforts deployed by President Tebboune in favor of the Algerian media, calling on journalists to close ranks so as to face the different threats.
يسعدنا أن نلتقي اليوم ومرة أخرى مع السيدات الإعلاميات والسادة الإعلاميون.
I am glad to meet during this occasion professionals of the information sector under the aegis of the President of the Republic, who showcased the importance of this field through numerous meetings he held with the media representatives. Today you honor us by chairing the ceremony of the 31st anniversary of the World Press Freedom Day, proclaimed by the UNESCO. On this occasion, that allows us to put forward the grand achievements of this sector and evoke the sacrifices of journalists while fulfilling their noble mission.
الذي يعد مناسبة لنا لتثمين مكاسب القطاع وتقدير تضحيات الإعلاميات والإعلاميين.
As for journalists attending this event, it was a good opportunity to recall the major achievements achieved so far. It was also a boon to emphasize Algeria's unwavering position regarding fair causes, including that of Palestine and Western Sahara.
That was a roundup of the World Press Freedom Day ceremony with Minisa Kabash. In other developments, and pursuant to the guidelines of the President of the Republic, some Palestinian kids, along with other accompanying members, arrived to Boufarik military airport from Cairo aboard a military aircraft belonging to the Algerian Air Forces. This is the second operation of the kind after that of 28th of March. They will be taken in charge by the military hospitals and circles. In a different context, the Premier Nadir Al-Arbawi chaired a government meeting devoted to continuing the study of a bill related to insurance, which falls within the economic reforms that the President of the Republic issued to expedite their completion. In implementation of the instructions of the President of the Republic issued during the Council of Ministers on the 26th of April, the government listened to a presentation made by the Minister of Health regarding the basic wiring systems for the public sector. The government also listened to a presentation made by the Minister of Labor, Employment and Social Security related to reviewing the pensions and retirement grants. The government additionally studied the draft decree presented by the Minister of Communication relating to the provisions of the Book of General Conditions for Audio-Visual Communication Services and a draft executive decree presented by the Minister of Health specifying the methods for organizing paramedical training activities. The Foreign Minister Ahmed Attaf, is taking part in the 21st session of the yearly Ministerial Conference of African Foreign Ministers and their Nordic counterparts, underlined in Copenhagen the incapability to put an end to the atrocities committed against the Palestinian people, adding that the world is in desperate need to voice of reason. He stressed that as well the necessity of development in Africa. Here's our Foreign Minister.
The multilateralism is in a steady retreat. The United Nations is being progressively disqualified, and one of its central bodies, the Security Council, is gradually falling into a state of a complete paralysis. To mention just one case, the unfolding situation in Gaza embodies alone all these dysfunctionalities that challenge nowadays, in a direct and blatant manner, the very essence of a rules-based system to which we are all committed. The continued inability of the international community to react in a united and decisive manner to put an end to the atrocities being committed against the Palestinian people has reignited doubts and skepticism about the very raison d'etre and relevance of international law in its entirety.
On the sidelines of his participation in the session, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the national community abroad met with his counterparts of Denmark, Norway, South Africa, Ghana, Libya, Cote d'Ivoire, Zimbabwe, and Uganda. The Interior Minister, Brahim Rad, is taking part in the proceedings of the high-level coordination meeting on issues related to illegal immigration, bringing together as well the Interior Ministers of Italy, Tunisia, and Libya. A sigh of relief for Palestinians after receiving an important aid from the Algerian Red Crescent to help the Gazans during the intense hardship worsened by the Zionist bombardment and the severe blockade being imposed on them. The first reactions of Palestinians following the timely aid with our correspondent Wissam Abu Zaid, taken up by Ines Killo.
After several months of the fierce Zionist aggression against the Gaza Strip, food aid dispatched by the Algerian Red Crescent Association arrived to the Palestinian territories to the great joy of the Gazans. From the heart of the Algerian capital, Algiers, to the heart of Gaza, this truck arrives thanks to God and thanks to the Algerian government and our brothers representing the Algerian Red Crescent who struggle to ensure the arrival of this truck to Gaza. And thanks to God, it arrived. All thanks to the Algerian people who stood with their brothers, the Palestinian people. They are really the brothers of Palestinians. From the trucks to the warehouses where these food products are placed, then it will be distributed and dispatched to the northern regions of Gaza Strip to alleviate their suffering, despite all the obstacles hindering such lofty initiatives. All respect to the Algerian people and to the entire Arab nation that backed the Palestinian people. We came from Gaza to live here in Rafah. My son is injured and I have no one to help me. Without this aid, we would be in a worse situation. I wanted to express my sincere thanks to Algeria. Your aid has arrived and all Gazans are praying for your humanitarian move. There is no doubt that these food packages contains many basic materials manufactured in Algeria, carrying as well political messages to the Palestinian people that Algeria will always side with against all odds.
Another suffering in pursuit of independence, that of the Sahrawi people, which displayed in the Boujdour refugee camps and the media conference in solidarity with the Sadr. Journalists leading a fierce struggle against the Makhzen blackout and the lack of neutral coverage. Commented by Walid Yousfi, taken up by Ines Killo.
This is the very first media conference devoted to solidarity with the Sahrawi cause to be held at the Boujdour refugee camp, with participants hailing from Colombia, South Africa, Senegal and Lebanon attending this roundtable to mark the event.
For me, this event is very important to convey Sahrawi messages, as we have noticed for a long time that there are attempts of repression and fighting through media. It is extremely important when it comes to ensuring the freedom of speech. They were also there to evoke blackout and lack of coverage regarding this just cause, a fairly important issue for Africa and the whole world, because its people are demanding their right for holding a referendum to get back their legitimate right. Media are also a tool of fighting for just causes and bringing the voice of oppressed peoples to the rest of the world.
A voice that is very often silenced by the Makhzen, particularly in the occupied territories. The treatment of information and the fight against disinformation top therefore today's agenda. Information and disinformation campaigns can be cruel and more dangerous than fighting on the ground. This conference is yet another call for the international community to face up the repression strategy adopted by the Makhzen regime and their fierce media war against the Sahrawi cause. This conference, dedicated to the media, will come to an end tomorrow with an international network of journalists in solidarity with the Sahrawi cause, a network that includes media representatives from different countries around the world.
The fight against the colonizer isn't always by armed struggle. Today, Sahrawi people chose another form, that of movies, as the annual cinema festival is held in refugee camps with the participation of numerous Sahrawi students. Misa Kebash tells us more.
The International Cinema Festival was marked this year by the incredible production of Western Saharan students who chose to create short films as a mean to express the voice of their just cause.
تأثير فعال وكبير في المجتمع الصحراوي والثقافة.
The Sahrawi cinema has an important place within the Sahrawi society, as it is a mean that allows us to defend our cause and depict our daily life.
الصحراوي اللاجئ اللي بالوسيلة الوحيدة اللي قد يعبر عن ذلي في ذاته.
This annual event is held each year in Sahrawi refugee camps. Despite the lack of equipment, Sahrawi deployed immense efforts to denounce the violations perpetrated against them by the Makhzen regime.
And the point of that was to teach especially an American audience who is fairly not well informed about issues around Africa and colonization, to tell them about the story of Western Sahara. And that is, again, why I'm here, to keep that story to keep our reporting on the story active, so that an American audience in particular can understand that this is a very long-standing conflict.
I participated as an actor in a movie called Min Ajlik, or For You. I am very happy to be here in this international festival, especially with the participation of numerous countries supporting the Sahrawi cause.
This event was indeed a symbol of solidarity towards the oppressed Sahrawi people, as it offered the opportunity to unveil the hidden and untold suffering of the Sahrawi people, yearning for freedom and independence with the help of liberty staunch advocate across the world.
The end. Enjoy your weekend and take care.